Welcome to the new semester, Spring 2021. This is the class about the database systems. It contains two sessions. One is the hybrid class and the other one is the fully online course. Basically, they are very similar to each other in this pandemic situation. All the class materials will be delivered online for the hybrid class depending on the team's choice as well as the COVID-19 situation. You may have the opportunity to present the projects face-to-face with me, but that will depend on the situations when it comes to the presentation time. So that's starting with talking about the course. This video will compose of three parts, starting with the course policy, indicating what are you expected to learn in this class. And then it will come to class policy, indicating that how do I deliver the class materials to you. And finally, we will look into the syllabus style to dissect each topics that we will be covered in this semester. So let's start with the course policy. For the catalog description, this course is a required course for all majors, including computer science as well as cybersecurity. Database models with the emphasis on relational database, the concept and mathematical foundations of relational database, the formalization of relations, the SQL database definition, manipulation language, and the entity relationship database design modeled. The prerequisite course for this class is Data Structures, CSCI 2320. You have to take that course, finish it, and then be able to sign in this class. So if you have not finished your data structure class, please do not take this course. Not only there are some topics in data structure will be related to the database system class, the teamwork experience that you will learn from the data structure is going to be crucial in this course. So the maturity basically is the difference for you to take a 2000 level courses before you can take a 3000 level course. So again, if you have not take or finished data structure class yet, please do not take this course, drop the class, and then so that we can make sure all the students taking this class are at the same level. For computer science program outcomes, this is about the ABET accreditation as well as the UCA upper core requirements, so that for students who take in this course are expected to learn how to design, implement, and evaluate computer-based solutions to meet the given set of computing requirements in the context of the program's discipline. So basically, you will have some design and implementation and evaluate process throughout this database course. So basically, what it will do is that for your team project, and you basically, all of you guys were working as a team throughout the whole semester to work on one problems, starting with the design and then implement it, and then basically create some queries for the evaluating purposes of the database design. So these will be fully emphasized in this course. The other outcome that's very important to ABET accreditation is that applied computer science theory and software development fundamentals to produce computing-based solutions. So basically, in this class, once we comes to the introduction, you understand that for our class, we are going to use Oracle as our DBMS, database management system, which is obviously a software package that you can be able to do the design implementation as well as the queries in that system, so that we will be able to fulfill this outcome. And finally, for the UCA Upper Division Core, this class satisfies the communication process over there, so that you will need to do some presentations as a team. You will need to write some reports as well. So these are some important requirements regarding to this class. The course goal is describing as the following things. You will be able to learn what we call the ER model as well as the EER model, enhance the ER model to understand what is a database looks like. And then you will learn another style called relational database model, relational schema diagram, to describe your design relatively more closer to a code. So basically that's like a pseudo code for you to implement it. Once you can go through that, you will be able to write the DDL code, data definition language, to build up the database and manage the database that you created. After that, you will learn how to create a query inside of the database that you have been created. So that's like the whole packages that you will learn. And throughout the whole semester, as I mentioned earlier, you will do a team project that continues from project 1, project 2, project 3, and final projects, so that you will need to use all your knowledges that you have learned in this class so that you will be able to create a mini world database. So those are the important goals that we will learn throughout the class. The textbook is considered as the Bible of the database, fundamentals of the database systems. The one I listed over here is the 5th edition. I believe they have like 7th edition or 8th edition available right now. Any edition is fine, so that the textbook did not require you to use the latest version of it. They are all very similar, especially for the topics or chapters that we are going to cover. I know many of you guys will ask, does the textbook required? My answer is yes. It is absolutely required, especially for this period of time, because a lot of the lectures that we're going to deliver is through the videos. And you may be able to get lots of the ideas of that. However, I'm not able to cover every single thing that this book provides. So that having a book to study with is going to be super crucial for you to get good grades in this class. And this book is not going to cost you a lot. So I really want you guys to get a book, study it together with all my class videos so that you can get the full understandings of it. Throughout last semester, 2 or 3 students will ask me saying, hey, I watch all of your videos and I want to learn more. How can I do that? My answer is very straightforward. Basically, in the syllabus description video, I told you that get a book. Not only you can get more contents written in the book, but also there are a lot of practices in the back of every chapter, so that you will be able to get more experiences on the topics. So try to get the book as soon as possible. It is very helpful for this class. There's another reference book that's mainly focusing on the query languages, the Oracle codes. You don't need to get that book. I will provide all the handouts. I've read it, absorb the contents, and then make my notes for you guys. So the book I put the pictures over here is the one that you need to get. So the course description is based on the objectives that we have seen. You need to be able to understand the database architecture, relational model, SQL database languages, ER model, EER model, etc. So I want you guys to be able to be familiar with all of these topics, and also be able to lead you guys to the data mining as well as the data warehouse concepts of the advanced version or the next stage of the database systems. The course grade. This might be the most important table throughout the whole semester, throughout the whole syllabus. So let's make sure you understand how to calculate your grades in the end of the semester, and I follow this strictly, so that if you have any questions regarding to what's the scores that you will get, please reference this table, and all of your grades are available through the Blackboard, because now we will go through everything through the Blackboard. You will be able to know your grades for each items over there. So looking into that map with this table, you will be able to calculate your scores by yourself. So let's take a look at this. One of the most important things is online attendance assignments. Throughout the videos, almost in the end of every day's video, I will give you some assignments so that you can have some practice. Make sure you understand the contents I try to describe in the video so that you will have some assignments at the end of almost every video. And so that you will get probably like 10 to probably like around 15 assignments throughout the whole semester. The total weight of that is going to be 20%. So that is an important part of this online course. So that's 20% to calculate your attendance. There will be 3 exams throughout the whole semester. First exam is 15%, second exam is 15%, final exam is 20%. So those are the key components. The sums of those exams are 50%. Then the other 30% comes from your projects. So as I mentioned earlier, this class will have team projects throughout the whole semester, and they are related to one another. So for your project 1, it will be a team project. Right now, I'm thinking about 4 people in a team. And when it comes to that time, I will give you a time window. If you have someone that you want to team up with, email me, let me know who you want to work with. If not, then I will assign your team according to my roster. So that's what it will comes to the team projects. And you will stick with the same team throughout the whole semester. The first project is going to be design, basically the ER model of the database, and that will worth 9%. And then project 2 will comes to individual. Based on the design that you have worked in the ER diagram, how would you make it even better? So that is the time you will be able to be familiar with your team's design as well as learn more in the what we call EER diagram. After that, it's the time to convert that into the relational schema diagram as well as implement that. In that stage, you will come back to the team projects again. And finally, we need to create the queries for the database that your team design. So that is what's going to happen for the projects. And you can see that I clearly pointed out what are the percentages going to worth throughout the whole semester. And basically the sum is 100%, so that's the later grade will be given in here. It's the regular one, 90 to 100 you get an A, 80 to 89 you get a B, 70 to 79 you get a C, 60 to 69 you get a D, and below that you get an F. I do not do curve at all. So what's your score? If your score is 89.1, 89.3, you get a B score over there. I will provide some bonus opportunity though. So when you getting those bonus opportunities, try to get it, because sometimes you just need a little bit of the scores to get you into the next grade. So that's how I handle all my classes. And like I said, I do not do curve at all. So this is an important thing for you guys to understand. The attendance and drop policy. Attendance is super important, and I will evaluate that through the online attendance assignments. So make sure you submit all the assignments, and then you can get the 20% of your grade. The last withdrawal date for the spring 2021 semester is April 12th. Make sure you realize, understand that's the time for you to withdraw the class. And this is about the course policy. So now let's take a look of the class policy. This is the part that talks about how do I handle the class and what are the rules that I have set up for the class. So my name is Dr. Bernard Chen. I have been in this working for this department for about 12 years. I joined the department in 2008, and I really enjoy working here, and I like to have some good communications with you guys, and I try to make sure you can follow all of my materials. So my office is in MCS 304, and the best way to communicate with me is through the email bchen@uca.edu. Make sure if you're going to email me in your subject, you include CSCI 3360 so that I will understand this is an important email coming from my database class. And I have another class which is data mining. I ask them to do the same thing. Once I see the subject, I have some brief ideas, knowing that who and what is it related in this email. So make sure when you email me, make sure you put CSCI 33060 in this subject. The class delivery. This is probably one of the most important things that I want to mention in here. All the lecture, so the classes, lectures will be delivered online in asynchronous format, which means that I will post the videos. I will post the videos on the Blackboard, and you will have time to watch it. And of course, if there are some assignments that need to be submitted, you need to submit by the due date. It will be clearly posted on the Blackboard. So there will be some possible, based on the choice of the team and pandemic situation, there were some possible face-to-face meetings available for project submission as well as presentation for the hybrid class students. It is not sure yet, it's not certain because the pandemic situation is pretty bad right now. But that's an opportunity. In last semester, I have like one team actually do their presentations face-to-face with me, and that is what happened previously. The class materials will be available before 8 a.m. on every Tuesday and Thursday during the class weeks. There is a spring break in between the semester, so that is of course not going to have any videos. But on every Tuesday and Thursday before 8 a.m., I will post the class materials online so that you will be able to watch it at that time. You will also have a class online support to meet with me to discuss anything related to the class, including anything, class material, assignment, project, exam, or even your career questions. So here is the design that I make it happen. For the class, it was originally designed at 9:25 until 10:40. So here's my idea. I want you guys to be able to watch the video. Say that you started at the regular time, 9:25, that ideal way. So you will watch the video. The video is usually not going to be too long, probably 2 videos. Each video is going to be about 20 minutes or so. So when you watch it, you will learn the things from it. And of course, you may end up with having some questions. So during that time, I will set up a repeat Google Meet meeting room waiting over there for you to come to chat with me if you have any questions. And of course, if you don't have any questions, you don't need to come to the class. So I will be there. If you follow the original class time, you can learn it. You have someone to chat with, to ask things about. And like I said, you can ask me about anything so that I will be able to help you make sure you get all the materials that you want to learn and you're supposed to learn. So when you join the online support, please turn on your camera if you have one, so that I can talk to someone instead of a black screen, which is not really an enjoyable situation. So please, when you come to the class online support, when you meet with me, open your camera so that I can see you and can talk to a real person. The class online support is starting from 9 o'clock until 11 a.m. at this link, and this link I have reserved for the whole semester, so that is the only link that you need to use to meet with me through the Google Meet. And that's the important things. How do I design my class, and how can I help you to get more materials learned from the meeting time for the online support. So attendance is most important thing. Make sure in order to make sure you watch the video, I put some assignments, and if you submit assignments, obviously you watch the video so that you know what I'm talking about. If you don't submit the assignments, there are only 3 possibilities that I can accept as the formal excuse that you did not come to the class or did not watch the video. The first one is school-related activities. So that when that happens, usually I will be able to get the information in advance so that I know what's something to happen. Medical related absence. So if that's happening, make sure you bring me some notes indicating that the doctors know or anything saying that you really cannot do the work that day. Family related emergency. I know things can happen, so when that's happening, make sure you give me some evidence, some documents so that I can process it. If you miss the class, try to catch up in the blackboard. So when you miss some classes, it is your responsibility to find the information you missed, and that should be pretty straightforward to catch up what you have not watched. Students need to submit the assignments given in the video lecture by the due date to count as attendance. So that is how I do attendance, and you know attendance is worth 20%. Homework project assignment policies. No late assignments will be accepted unless specified stated otherwise. You may collaborate on homework. However, the work submitted must reflect individual works. So do not discuss together and submit the same answers. That's not how I meant about the collaborations, unless that's a team project. All person project assignments must be done in the individual basis, as a duplicate code submitted will result in 0 score for projects for all assignments. And if you do that again, you will assign an F at the end of the semester. If it's necessary for students to do the absent, it is still your responsibility to determine if there are any changes in assignment on the due date. So again, reference back to the blackboard, all the changes, all the information will be available over there. For the rest part, it's pretty straightforward. I want to talk a little bit about the quiz exam policy. Missing an exam is of course a very serious matter. So there are only 3 valid reasons for you to miss the exam, which is mentioned in the possible absent situation. School-related activities, the sickness, as well as some family emergency. Makeup exam will be conducted at instructor's direction. So basically, don't miss the exam. Exam is very important. And what I can tell you about this class is that the exam will be open book and open notes, but no internet access. And I will be able to check everybody's results through the Blackboard's functionality so that if your answers are too similar or anything, Blackboard will detect that automatically, and that's not going to end up well. So please make sure when it comes to the exam, it's individual work, it's not teamwork, it's not a team exam, so that you need to reflect your own work. The rest part of the class policy is the basic information that required by UCA. Academic misconduct, make sure you read this carefully. University policies, building emergency plan statement, disabilities, and the most important thing at this stage is for face-to-face meetings, all students are expected to comply with UCA policy regarding to the face covering. The policy and other information for students is available at this link. So make sure if we end up with some face-to-face opportunities, I would value those opportunities, and we need to do it right so that we can still have the face-to-face meeting opportunity. Finally, when it comes to the syllabus, this one gives you a rough idea of what we are expecting to learn throughout the whole semester. On the left column, it indicating that how many classes are required to talk about the topics. And then we will look into the topics, and there are some corresponding chapters for you to read. So starting with the introduction, including the syllabus discussion, as well as the next class, we will look into a basic database introduction. Try to understand what is a database. And then we will directly move into what we call an ER model, spending about 4 classes looking into the ER model, understanding what is a database. At that time, you will be able to learn what is a database. And then we will learn the EER model, how to enhance the ER model and then be able to design an even more accurate database. Then we will look into relational model and relational database constraints so that we will learn a different style, like I said, more closer to the pseudocode style, so that we will be able to learn completely what is a database looks like. So you can see that for the first 4 topics, we will not touch any coding, because if you don't have an idea of what a database is, there's no reason for us to write a code for that. So after you learn what is a database, we will have a review and we will have an exam to make sure everybody understands what's a database. Then we will learn how to convert between ER model to relational schema diagram so that we can convert our design into a pseudocode. Then we will learn how to write the program in Oracle to define our database. After that, we will learn how to put the tuples or put the information into the database by doing insert, delete, and modify. And that is the second stage of what we will learn about creating the database. Finally, we will learn how to query the languages. We how to query the database, find the information that we want inside of the database, so that we will learn the query languages. We will learn how to work with the tables, really working in Oracle, and then it will come to final project presentations and reports, and we will do the final exam. So basically, you can see that the whole semester is separate into 3 parts according to the 3 different exams, and that is the design that I want you guys to learn throughout the whole semester. So this syllabus represents a general plan for the course, and maybe minor deviations will happen, especially this semester is relatively shorter than what we originally have. So that is about what I want to let you guys know about the whole syllabus. And of course, in my email, as well as I mentioned in the Blackboard, I want to meet with you guys on January 19th at 10 o'clock so that we can have some face-to-face opportunities through, of course, internet, so that if you have any questions, anything, I can be able to answer. And make sure you understand, how do we going to work together? And this is very important. It requires your efforts and my efforts to make this class a great class, and that is my goal. I want to make sure you guys learn something, enjoy the class, and be able to have a good communications between you and me. That will be all for the syllabus.